I've arrived at the Ivory Tower in the Utsuchi system on the planet called Shangri-La in the Isentum galaxy. I am an intergalactic traveler who is exploring different lands, seeking the path of truth. In one of my travels, I stopped at an old ancient archive building where I met Wolfheart and Blais2302. They were talking about an old fantasy novel called The Never-Ending Story, written by an Earthling author named Michael Ende. Wolfheart told us he created a special build called the Ivory Tower in the land called No Man's Sky. I was invited to visit this build where Blazing Fire was going to do a video of his artistic creation capturing part of this never-ending story. Our story begins about a boy named Bastian Balthazar Books, who has been neglected by his father after his mother died. While escaping some bullies, Bastian bursts into an antiquarian bookstore that was owned by Carl Conrad Coriander, and he finds a book there that just is fascinating. It's a book called The Never-Ending Story, and he was just unable to resist having that book, and so he hides it under his jacket and then goes to his school attic where he begins to read the story. The story Bastian reads is set in the land, a magical land of Fantastica, a place of wonder ruled by the benevolent and mysterious childlike Empress. One day, a great delegation came to the Empress to seek her help against an entity called the Nothing. They are very shocked when the Empress's physician, named Charon, informs them that the Empress is ill. She's very sick, and that she has chosen a boy warrior named Atreyu to find a cure. When Charon found Atreyu, he gave him a powerful amulet called Auron that protects him from all harm. Oh my, look at that! It looks like it's going to crash into the tower. Those are frigates. I believe they're frigates. They're so close. Along the way, he met a very old giant turtle named Morla, who gave him advice. He told him to set out and search for an invisible oracle known as Ululala, who may know the Empress's cure. Atreyu is told by the Ululala the only thing that can save the Empress is a new name given to her by a human who can only be found beyond Fantastica's borders. After reaching the Ululala, Atreyu is aided by a luck dragon named Fulker, whom he rescues from the shape-shifting creature Gramal the Many. As Fulker and Atreyu search the borders of Fantastica, Atreyu is flung from Fulker's back in a confrontation with the four wind giants, and he loses the Auron in the sea. Fulker retrieves Auron from the sea and arrives in time to save Atreyu from the rapid approach of the Nothing. Falkor and Atreyu go to the childlike Empress, who assures them they have brought her rescuer Bastian to her. This part of the story in particular is finding Bastian, who meets the princess and gives her a new name called Moonchild. Reading through the story, Bastian becomes increasingly disturbed by hints that the characters are somehow aware that he is reading their adventures, being able to hear and even see him at points. Unfortunately, Bastian abuses this power during his reign over Fantastica, and also the Ivory Tower gets destroyed. Because of all this power, Bastian loses himself and Atreyu rescues him. This is a whole story and adventure on Atreyu's journey, a story for another day. Bastian returns to his original form and feels comfortable and happy with it. He returns to his father, where he tells the full tale of his adventures, and thus his father is restored from his grief. Afterwards, Bastian confesses to Coriander about stealing his book and losing it. Coriander denies ever owning such a book. He reveals he has been to Fantastica, that the book is likely moved into the hands of someone else, and that Bastian, like he, will eventually show people the many ways to Fantastica. There are so many parts of this journey to share. We all are on our own never-ending story. A journey where lands, people, and time and tales intertwine.